Well, hey everyone, welcome to Bobini Creates. My name is Jeannie, and in today's video, I wanted to share my June coloring plans with you. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, first up, I want to share with you my buddy colors. They're always a priority for me each month, and this month I have 4. So we'll start with the smallest one here, and this is going to be, hold it up a little bit, this is going to be Party by Hannah Carlzon, and this is a buddy color with my good friend Shelly Weaver over on Instagram, and we decided on this page here, and it's a lovely little unicorn on sitting on a probably ice cream cone. It could be a cupcake, I guess, or a combination of the two, but we thought this would be perfect because it fits in for Junicorn. But also, guys, it's Shelly's birthday, and so I just thought this looked like a nice little unicorn on a party, on a birthday party situation. So happy birthday, Shelly. Next up, I have, let's see here, 2 out of Coloring Heaven books here, and I will share those with you. First one is with Allison. She's over at Color and Create with Allison, and we decided to color in this mermaid special, and we are coloring this lovely lady right here. And I want to think there's a butterfly hashtag out there. If somebody knows, if you could drop that in the comments below, I'd really appreciate it. But I can see this one just sort of being on the brighter side of pastels is kind of my vision on this. That could change, but that's just sort of where my head's at right now. All right, and next up we have another Coloring Heaven. This one is Fantasy Romance Special, and these are the illustrations by Fabiana Traore. Now this one is a buddy color with my friend colorist over on Instagram, Serica, and we decided on this guy with a dragon, and the reason being mostly is because of my hashtag Color Dads and Dudes 2026, and we thought he'd be just perfect. And I'm excited about coloring this as well as a dragon. I don't color too many dragons, and I'm up for the challenge, and I just think it's going to be something that's outside my comfort zone, and I love that. The last one I colored turned out pretty good. I was pretty proud of it in a Molly Harrison book. So yeah, I think that's going to be fun. And then my last buddy color is with my friend Jana over at Color and Create with Jana, and we decided on, I'm going to put it right smack in the middle here if I can manage that, this typewriter page. Now I've seen this done a whole bunch of different times, posted, they're all beautiful, and so it's a little bit like, I don't, I'm a little nervous to get started, I'll be honest, but I'm also excited. And I figure what I can do is go ahead and bring some of the colors that, I used in this page here onto this page, and that'll just give it sort of a nice cohesive look. So I'm looking forward to that one. And this is a project book for Jana and I, as you may recall. And then let's see here. Now, I'm going to take a look at some of my hashtags as well as some that, are just out there by other colorists. Starting off with Summer Nights by Hannah Carlzon. Now, I have a hashtag up, a color along right now, and it's called it's called Summer Nights with Bobini, and you can color any page in this book. And the ones that I had my eye on here are these two. Now, this one, because it is a whip, I just need to color a background on that. So that should be, pretty fast, I would think. And then this one, because, well, you can see I already have it taped off. I'm thinking that a nice watercolor background would be really cool on this and make it really vibrant. And then again, try to tackle some of the colors from the adjacent page. I like to do that as often as I can just because I like the overall look of the 2 pages side by side. Oh, also I wanted to mention, I noticed that there was let me bring it back over here, another tag out there, and it's called Hannah's Birds 2026, which I thought was a really clever idea for a tag because she has so many birds in her books. So I'm going to go ahead and put that up on screen, and I'm not going to try to pronounce the Instagram user because I don't want to mess up the name. I'm sorry about that, but you can see it here if you're interested in joining in. I think that's going to be pretty awesome. And so that was Summer Nights. Okay, moving right along. Now I have, let's show you these two. So I have another hashtag, and this is my third hashtag of the month, and it's, there we go. And it's Bobini Otters and Owls. Now, they do not have to be out of these two books. This was my inspiration because I think these two books by Teresa Goodrich are awesome. And so far, I have, let's start with this one because I have a whip in here, and it's this one. I am moving right along on this one. I just need to kind of tighten up some of the flowers and do a little bit better job on the shading on those. But overall, I was really pleased with this one. So that'll definitely work. And of course, all filled with otters. So if I run out of things to color, yeah, right, I can go back into that book and see what else strikes my fancy. Then in I always have trouble with these names, Aldorable. I really like, there's several I really like in here, but I'm just going to show you one of those. And it's this one right here. Now, the reason I really like this one, let me go ahead and grab that, pardon my arm, is because we have a roof owl. Yes, an owl on our roof that we have been recording via a trail cam. And I posted one of those images on my community post if you're interested in taking a look. But this little critter visits almost nightly, and we think it might be a little bit of a young owl. He's a little clumsy sometimes. The other night he tripped on a wire that was up there, which kind of cracked us up as he was sort of hopping across. And he's sort of a little fluffier, and it's hard to tell if he's smaller, but I don't know. He just sort of reminds me like he might be a juvenile. We have a whole family of owls in our neighborhood, our little small neighborhood. And so, yeah, he's very likely a little youngster. I think the adults seem to hang out on the great big trees. But anyway, this I thought would be perfect as a little tribute to that guy. And that will be fun. Now, there are, let's see here. Let me grab this handful of books over here. Okay, I've got 4 books by Jane Madej in front of me. They're all new, and they could all qualify for the CYH June 26 tag, which I'll put up on screen, by T's World of Adult Coloring and Lavella's Coloring. And that tag is for any book that is, uncolored as of yet, which these are. And I had a whole lot of options here. I may get to some, I may not, but I'm very excited to color on these. This is if you haven't seen, my sister was kind enough to gift me a whole bunch of coloring books. It's in my last video, Bobini Bits and Clips, episode number 3, and I share that haul with you along with some other items that were Happy Mail and that I've also purchased. But yeah, so let's take a look. This one I thought would be awesome for Junicorn. I've already got that covered with my Buddy Color with Shelly, but just in case I wanted to do another one. Then in this Jane Madej book, I like this little owl. That's a nice option. Okay, I'm going to skip this one here, Nature Sweet Moments, because I just currently don't see my tag, where I had indicated what I wanted to color. So let's just skip that one for now. This one, Life is Sweet, I love because it's a little otter. Those are not always easy to find. But yeah, I think that's going to be fun. And okay, and then this one I really like. It's Your Heart is Calling Home, and what a darling little owl in the nighttime sky. So that would be awesome. Now, I've got a couple of final bits that I wanted to show you. These are 2 that I'd like to do if I'm able to. some tags and we'll just see how it goes. So Fantasy World by Emily Lightahall Oberg and A Million Hugs and Kisses by Lulu Mayo. These are both new books, so again, they can qualify for Color Your Hoard. This one, A Million Hugs and Kisses by Lulu Mayo, is going to cover a whole lot of tags, which is why I chose this page. My owl page and, my owl image could qualify for Bobini, Otters, and Owls. It could also qualify for Elm Colors Lulu 2026. It could be Tackle the Title Pages by Coloring Bumblebee. And I think that was everything I had. And then Color Your Hoard, because it's a new book by Tian Lavella, as we had discussed. And then this one is brand new to me as well, and I'm super excited to get started in this one. This one is a gift from Coloring Gen 1975, and of course this is Fantasy World by Emily Lightahall Oberg, and a couple cool choices here. Actually, let's start with this one. Another owl page. It seems like owl pages are not hard to find, so if you wanted to join in on that, man, you're going to have no trouble finding your page. And then this one, the very next one, would be good for Junicorn. So far I found several for that, but I thought this was awfully cute. And then finally, this whole section here, let me bring it back over here. This whole section for the Royal Kingdom could be for the Color Dads and Dudes 2026. My tag there is, color any dad or dude. And it doesn't have to be either of those. It could also be, an elf or a gnome or whatever, as long as it's a dude. But this whole section has a whole lot of guys in it, whether it's a prince or a king. Yeah, lots of choices, and that would let me color in this book. So lots of awesome choices there. So that is my sort of tentative plans for June 2026. If there's anything in this video that kind of strikes your fancy, a page that you'd like to color as well, hit me up and I'd love to do a buddy color with you. I always am open to do that. So thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye now.